So as the Philadelphia Eagles are getting deeper into training camp, there have been a few surprising players on the team that have been shocking everybody during practice, potentially even earning themselves starting roles. And that includes this wide receiver who seems to have improved drastically this offseason as he's been turning heads at training camp and even getting first team reps. So what are the odds he can carve himself out a role in the offense this year? Meanwhile, Eagles rookie Quinyon Mitchell continues to get first team reps at practice, and it seems like he's starting to potentially establish himself as the favorite to start in one particular position. Plus, Jalen Hurts continued to ball out while CJ Gardner-Johnson explained how his trash talk during practice is helping the offense. So let's talk about that and everything else from camp. And we won't waste any time, let's get straight into it. So first off, I want to congratulate legendary Eagles announcer Merrill Reese on officially winning the Pete Rozelle Radio and Television Award and being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Friday. I mean, it's obviously a huge honor for anybody to be put in the Hall of Fame, and it usually doesn't happen for local team announcers, but Merrill's just different. He's been doing this for 46 years, and his voice is just so iconic, and it's going to be remembered by Eagles fans forever.
And the game is over! The game is over! The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions! Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you! Let the celebration begin!
So again, just huge congrats to him, and also drop a like down below for that. Let's see if we can hit 800 likes on this video. Now, the Eagles obviously just had their one and only public practice at training camp, and it was just cool to get to see the guys out on the field at Lincoln Financial in front of the fans for the first time, even if it was just a practice setting. And it was also cool to see an on-field perspective of it, with the Bird social media team releasing this video from the perspective of what is made out to be inside a player's helmet, and it was just really cool to get an up-close and personal look of the players down on the field warming up and going through drills. And also, just props to the Eagles social media team for always being creative and giving us some great content. Now, one team I can't say I'm particularly inspired to give props to is the team in charge of giving out the Madden ratings for the Eagles specifically, because I just don't particularly agree with a lot of the ratings that they gave out. I mean, I like that A.J. Brown and Lane Johnson are rated at 95 and Saquon's rated at 92, but aside from that, I feel like a lot of the ratings are just so low. Like, Devontae Smith should be higher than an 88 in my opinion. Jalen is definitely higher than an 86. Landon Dickerson is way too low at 85. I think he definitely needs to be at least a 90 overall. And then like you got Devin White, who's a 75, which despite a down year last year, it just feels super disrespectful to me. Then you got Cam Jurgens, who's a 70, which is just way too low. And then the defensive line is just insane because Josh Sweat's an 81, Bryce Huff is just a 79, and Jalen Carter's only an 82. And that's not even where the nonsense ends, but honestly, like, it's whatever. Like, Madden does not matter at all, and no offense to them, but I just don't see myself buying that game anyway. And the Eagles obviously got more important things to worry about than their Madden ratings this year. And obviously, the main thing on their minds right now is training camp, as that is continuing to heat up here with 4 straight practices in 4 days, including today, leading up to their first preseason game against the Ravens on Friday. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the camp and preseason coverage I got coming on this channel. And also, it's worth noting that heading into practice today, the stats for the Eagles offensive players have been absolutely insane during camp, with A.J. Brown having 24 catches on 26 targets and 2 touchdowns, while Devontae Smith has 14 catches on 20 targets, and Dallas Goedert has 14 catches on 15 targets and 4 touchdowns. And then a surprise wide receiver that has actually had a really active camp so far is Britain Covey, as the third-year return man is seeing a lot of action in the receiving game so far during camp, getting 15 catches on 18 targets across the first, second, and third teams. So it'll definitely be interesting to keep an eye on him throughout camp and preseason to see if there's any chance of him earning some sort of role in the offense this season. And then, of course, we can't forget about Saquon Barkley, who has 9 catches on 10 targets and 18 carries, all on the first team. So overall, it has been an impressive camp so far for the skill guys, but it's been most impressive for Jalen Hurts, as he entered Sunday's practice completing 91 of his 113 passes, which is good for an 81% completion percentage, along with 12 touchdowns and no interceptions. So safe to say the guy has been lights out. Plus, the Eagles social media team gave us a gem as they mic'd up Jalen Hurts for one of the practices, and one particular moment from the video was pretty cool, as when he was asked by Saquon Barkley if he was fearless, he said this.
It'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you think you fearless?
Fearless?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got some shit you're gonna worry about, but you have to check yourself.
Yeah.
You either gonna pray or you gonna worry. You can't do both. God got it. God know I work too. Shouldn't be to fear when you already put the work in. I come ready.
As a believer myself, I just absolutely love Jalen's faith, and also just his overall mindset to always be prepared and to trust the work he puts in, and I couldn't be more confident that it'll end up paying off this season, just like it's been paying off during training camp so far. And someone else whose work and effort has paid off during training camp so far is linebacker Zack Baun, as Baun has started almost every day during training camp so far, including Sunday, and it seems like he's currently on track to winning himself the starting linebacker job next to Devin White over Nakobe Dean, as he's reportedly performed very well, and he also has apparently been playing with toughness and effort during camp, as Nick Sirianni went out of his way to shout out Baun during his pre-practice press conference today.
I wanted to mention this guy, another new addition to our team that I think brings an element of toughness with the way he plays, with his motor, with the way he strikes blocks, is Zack Baun. And it shows not only in his, on the defensive side, but it also shows during special teams. Like, this guy is a tough dude that plays with great detail and great passion for this game with physicality.
I just think it really speaks to how highly Sirianni and the Eagles think of Baun for Nick to go out of his way to just praise him during his presser like that. And I also love what he said, because that's the kind of energy that the Eagles need from the linebacker position, and they were definitely missing it last year. So hopefully Baun, Devin White, and the guys bring it this year. And again, I can understand why the Eagles think this highly of Baun if that's the kind of energy and effort that he's playing with during practice, and it seems like it's helping him earn a starting job. And someone else who's fighting to earn a starting job is offensive lineman McKee, and Nick Sirianni even praised him on Sunday, saying that he's played well during camp so far, and he had an impressive practice on Thursday, and he's also doing well just competing for a spot at right guard, even if Tyler Steen is the favorite. However, we didn't get to see Becton on Sunday, as he was sidelined from practice while dealing with some sort of illness, and in addition to him, Tyler Steen is obviously still out with his ankle injury, while Eli Ricks also missed practice with an illness, and Paris Campbell was also out with a groin injury, so that'll be something to monitor going forward. And with Campbell out, that meant some more opportunities for some of the other wide receiver 3 candidates to get some first team reps. And one of them was the rookie Johnny Wilson, as it was reported that he was getting more and more first team reps during Sunday's practice, and this comes after Wilson was already getting first team reps last week during multiple practices and impressing, as he's made some really nice plays. So again, it definitely seems like he has a very real chance to earn himself a significant role in the offense this season, as the Eagles seem to really just like his size and jump ball ability, which could lead him to being an effective red zone threat for them this year, and his blocking ability is also another great trait that could help earn him some playing time. But someone else that seems like could potentially earn some playing time at receiver with the way he's been showing out at camp is Britain Covey, because as I mentioned earlier, the return man has actually been really productive as a receiver during these summer practices, as he apparently has worked really hard and grown a lot in that area of his game, as he had this to say about his improvement as a receiver just last week.
I think I've shown the most growth as a receiver. I think, like I said, reliability as a receiver is important. If you think about it in this offense, we've got AJ, Smitty, Dallas, and Saquon. So your third receiver that's out there, he needs to be able to affect the game in ways other than just being ball-centric, right? Because there's only so many footballs to go around. So I think that's why a lot of times, in the past we've had Quez out there. He affects the game with his speed, right? Paris and John affect the game with their speed. I feel like my route running and my ability with the ball is something similar. You can't just leave me. So for me, I've really focused on that. Worked really hard in the off season, and people ask me, I haven't gotten many chances at receiver, but one day I'll tell my kids I was Devontae Smith's backup, and I'm pretty proud of that. So hopefully we get some chances this year, though.
Now, Covey's hard work has led him to getting some first team opportunities during camp, and that continued on Sunday, where he got more first team reps with Campbell out of practice, and he made the most of them, as he made a couple catches during practice, including one in particular that was really impressive, as he made a diving grab between 2 defenders in CJ Gardner-Johnson and Quinyon Mitchell, who both had good coverage on the play. And Covey's recent performance even caused reporter Elliot Short-Parks to say, quote, "I don't think any player has helped their stock more or looked more improved than Covey." So overall, I really love what I've heard about Covey so far during training camp. It sounds like he's gotten so much better to the point where I think I'd actually like to see him get some opportunities with the offense this year. I mean, he's a shifty and slippery guy who can be a threat once he gets the ball in his hands, just based on what we've seen from him so far as a returner in his career. And also, how can you not root for a guy like Covey, who was undrafted and has done nothing but buy into his role and work hard since he's been here? But what do you guys think? How do you feel about Britain Covey, and would you like to see him get some chances with the offense this year? Now, someone else who's getting a big opportunity during camp this year is quarterback Tanner McKee, as McKee has been quietly fighting for a chance to earn the QB2 job during camp so far, as he's gotten second team reps over Kenny Pickett at various times during recent practices, including the one on Sunday, and he's apparently made the most of them too and looked good, as Eagles reporter Elliott Short-Park seems to believe that McKee might actually be outperforming Pickett at this point, as he tweeted out, quote, "Might be time to have the Tanner McKee over Kenny Pickett discussion. Would be very curious to see them both get reps with the first team offense just to see who does better. It might be McKee." So that's definitely notable and something to pay attention to as camp goes on, because if you remember back to preseason last year, McKee was pretty great during those games, and he had many people, including myself, thinking that he deserved the backup job over Marcus Mariota. So it really doesn't surprise me that McKee apparently looks really good during camp, and I'll just be curious to watch the preseason this year, because if McKee plays well enough, he might just be able to earn himself the backup job. That being said though, we obviously all hope that we never see McKee or Pickett during a regular season game, because we just never want to see Jalen Hurts miss a game. And speaking of Hurts, he continued his impressive camp on Sunday, so we're going to get into that and a whole bunch more in just a minute. But real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and don't want to miss any other Eagles training camp coverage or just Eagles coverage in general, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us, because not only do I get more people consistently watching the videos, but you don't miss any other Eagles coverage just like this. You're not going to want to miss it, so again, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and also drop a like down below if you haven't done so already. Now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, Jalen Hurts didn't miss a beat on Sunday, where he was very good once again during practice, and he made a few very nice plays, including throwing an absolute dime on a deep throw to Devontae Smith, with Tyler Hall having good coverage, where he placed the ball just perfectly for Smitty. And then later, Hurts also gave AJ Brown a chance on a jump ball in a red zone situation, and it paid off as AJ came down with a catch over Isaiah Rodgers, and Hurts once again put the ball where only AJ could get it. And Jalen also had a really nice throw on a crossing route to Britain Covey as well. So overall, Hurts finished the day with nice numbers once again, completing 15 of his 19 passes while throwing 1 touchdown and no interceptions once again. So what else can I say? I mean, Jalen has been unbelievable to start camp, and I really just do feel like he's getting ready to have a special season, and I absolutely cannot wait for it. But now, switching over to some of the positional battles on the defensive side of the ball, we start at cornerback, where Isaiah Rodgers started for the 3rd practice in a row and his 4th overall, so it seems like he's been performing well and really fighting for that starting job with Keely Ringo. Then you have a surprise candidate at linebacker getting some big opportunities, as the rookie Jeremiah Trotter Jr. got a good amount of first-team reps on Sunday, and he apparently made the most of his opportunities, as he made a really nice play against the run, and Elliott Short-Parks noted that Trotter has had a really strong camp so far. So I don't know how possible it is for Trotter to earn a starting job, but if he keeps performing well and they continue to give him first team reps, I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a chance he could put his name in that conversation. And then you also have the rookie cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, who started once again with the first team in the slot today, and this isn't the first time during camp that we've seen that, so it seems like Quinyon is working his way up and is legitimately in the mix to start at the slot position, which is just so surprising considering we thought he was strictly an outside cornerback when he was drafted. And also, speaking of Quinyon, Devontae Smith went up against him for the first time today, and it's safe to say that Mitchell kept that same energy that he had going up against AJ with Smitty.
So today was the first day I actually went against him, and you know, I got open, I caught the ball, and he told me my route was trash. So I'm like, I like it though. I like it. He's a great guy. I like what I'm seeing. I like to see him, you know, he's moving around a lot, playing inside, going outside. So the versatility is there, but, you know, it's fun playing against him.
I mean, you gotta love that. And overall, I'm just glad Mitchell is putting his versatility on display during practice and seemingly potentially earning himself a starting job. I mean, at this point, with him starting the past few practices and the slot position, I don't think you can deny that he's in the mix to start there. And also, you just love to see him bringing some toughness and trash talk to the defense. But we know nobody brings more toughness and trash talk than CJ Gardner-Johnson, and he put that on display today during a press conference where he said that he's a winner, and he also explained how his trash talk that's directed at the offense during practice is going to be helpful for them in the long run.
You're not afraid to like talk to them when you guys.
Because when it's week 7 against Dallas, Michael Parsons gonna go out there yelling at you. When it's week 1, Xavier McKinney's gonna be in the deep half yelling at AJ. When it's Super Bowl, who knows on the other side yelling at the whole offensive line. I'm just resembling the same shit that you would see on the field, in practice, in the meeting room, off the field, and on the field. I'm not gonna change. Y'all want me to be this. But put winner behind my name, and competitor and a passionate player before you say anything else. Love y'all.
I want you to be just like you.
I just love CJ's energy and attitude throughout this press conference, and also it's kind of funny the way he just walked off there at the end. And like we've said ever since we got CJ back, you just know that his attitude, his confidence, his toughness, his energy, his trash talk, his winning attitude, I mean, all that stuff is just going to help the Eagles so much this season, and I just cannot wait to watch him out there once again in an Eagles uniform and trash talking everyone on the opposing offense. Now, the Eagles got practice these next 3 days and then a preseason game on Friday, and don't worry, I'm going to be covering all of it. So again, make sure you subscribe, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. And also, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like to show some support. If you did enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate it, and it really does help me out a ton. And also leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another Eagles video recapping their public practice at Lincoln Financial Field, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.